What is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Romstar here, and today I'm bringing you a very different kind of Dokkan video, which I haven't done ever on my channel. I mean, I know a lot of people, D3, who actually is here, has done these before, but I've never done actual discussions about the game just because, well, I've been more focused on playing it as opposed to talking about it. But because of the most recent update, there's been a lot of questions and a lot of like analysis and speculations and whatever you want to call it, theories going around between what is the better unit. So I decided to bring two awesome guests onto my channel. I got, well, one's awesome. His name is Zenrot.
Really?
The other one is just D3.
Just D3.
So we're going to be discussing and analyzing, basically, and breaking down what is the better unit and give you like every single, or at least most sides of the story why this unit is better than the other one. So again, I got Zenrot from the Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle subreddit, who also started his channel recently. So if you want to subscribe to him, I'll link it down below. I believe you have 0 content on your channel so far, so but you're working on it, right?
Yeah, no, this over the holidays, over the Thanksgiving holiday.
Over the
some
holidays.
Stuff will start coming up.
And of course, D3, you guys know D3. All right, so let's just go ahead and just jump in. D3, let's start with you. Super Saiyan Blue Vegito or Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black? Which one?
I feel like this is gonna get, pretty biased, but I enjoy running both teams. I'm gonna say that I love leading with both units, running a hero team and a villain team. But I will say that if it comes down to both of them and who I'm choosing, and I had like no choice, I was a gun to my head or whatever, I'm choosing Black. Reason being is because Black is amazing. I've always had a thing for supporting units, and Black is like the best of both worlds because he's an awesome unit because he's able to, get that 100% unconditional buff to his own attack, and he already has over 10,000 attacks. So if you factor that in, look at it this way, leading with, say you're just throwing him on an AGL team, that's 140 from the double Vegito leads, plus his own 100, plus whatever links, all that other stuff. It's an amazing amount of damage. So at Super Attack 1, he's doing a crazy number of damage. And then at the same time, if you're also on that same team, or if you're throwing him on his own team where he's the leader, he's able to support the other units while hitting really hard as well. And as an extra added perk, he does greatly lower defense. I just feel like Black overall is a really well-rounded unit. Doesn't have very many drawbacks, whereas like Vegito, I feel like he can be amazing. He is amazing, one of the best in the game, hands down. But I feel like so much with him is uncertainty. So that's my main issue with him.
Yeah, that's my one problem with him too, and I kind of showed it off this past week when I was doing videos, showing off Vegito action. The RNG part is just, it's not a good idea to run into Dokkan. Running a strategy is based on RNG, and I showed this off with the Great Ape team a couple weeks ago. Like, I ran a full Great Ape team, and I got destroyed just because nobody wanted to transform. So, like, that was a problem there. But obviously, Blue Vegito isn't a Great Ape character, and it's not that much relying on RNG. The RNG factor comes down to the fact whether or not he's going to attack multiple times, and two, which of those attacks is going to be super attacked. Zed, how do you feel about the situation?
I just don't really see that much of an argument for why Blue Vegito can be better. I mean, hero teams are great.
Right.
But they're really one-dimensional. They have tanks here and there, but they don't have anywhere near the kind of survivability that villains have in general. The main argument, I think, for heroes is their availability, because every card since the dawn of time has been a Super Saiyan and has been really, really good for the most part. So pretty much everything is easy to get for heroes. But Super Saiyan Rose is the key piece that makes villain teams work, and they're incredible. Yes. He's the best sub-unit on Mono AGL. I'm
glad he said that, because that's what I was going to cover in this video too. So I'm also Team Goku Black at this point. Like, this past week, I've been saying whether or not I can't decide which one to choose between, but after testing out both units, Goku Black is by far the best one. However, my main reasoning is because, as Zen just said, he is like the glue that holds the villains together. Because like, villains have been shafted ever since Dokkan came out. Like, let's be real now. They've always had that one thing that just like kept them from being great. Like, the Saiyans all linked together, they're all friends and stuff. But, like, when it comes down to villains, they never really worked together that well in a team. But in my situation, like my team, which you can see on the video as well, I have, like, all the good villains. Thank you, RNG gods. Like, if you run...
Totally modest.
Yeah.
I have all the good villains.
I have everything good.
Yeah, I got all the good villains, and because of that, like, if I run a team where I got, Goku Black, even if he is my leader, if I am as a leader, I have Buhan here to heal for me, and Nuke. I have Omega Shannon and Physical Broly just tank damage, like, do some crazy damage, also reduce the attack of your opponent with, Omega Shannon's passive. I got Frieza and Janemba to take the hit, so I got 2 blockers, and I got Janemba, who's, lowering defense. On top of that, I have freaking, Goku Black, who's doing massive amounts of damage, supporting all the units. Like, together, it's such a great freaking team. and that's what makes me like that a lot better. Now, I'm not here to knock Vegito. Vegito's still cool, you know, and he probably is more usable amongst people because the thing that I was telling D3 off air is like the villains, like the good villains are more new. They're more recent. Like not everybody has Buhan. Not everybody has the Tech Golden Frieza. Not everybody has Omega Shenron, especially because, you know, he's like one of the more recent ones. Everybody at this point, well, I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people at this point have at least, you know, a good amount of Saiyans. You know, you got your Gotenks, you got your Super Gogetas, you even got your old Vegitos as well. And it's probably a lot easier to build a hero team at this point, just because those cards that all come together have been around for a while, whereas the villains just start becoming more great recently. So it's like, it depends on how much you've been really playing. If you have like that old account that's been around for a while, where you got all the good villains, well then Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black is your go-to character. But if you don't have that, if you just have like, let's say 2 or 3 villains, because I remember back in my day when I started the game, I didn't get a good villain for a very, very long time. If you have a couple of good heroes and you do pull Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, then in that situation, it could be better to run him. But again, the only problem with Super Saiyan Blue Vegito is he's honestly, this the part that's going to trigger a lot of people. He's not better than Super Vegito, which is crazy to say. And the reason why I say that is because, well, for starters, yes, he has a counter, which is nice. But the problem is the thing that makes the counter so beautiful is it tanks hits. Like, if you get hit by a regular attack that could be doing like 50,000 damage to you, let's say against, you know, Ultimate Gohan, you're going to take 90 damage or so, which is like next to nothing. Whereas if you try to tank a hit with Blue Vegito, I think it reduces about like 30%, something like that.
Yeah.
You'll still take a lot of damage. Yes, you get the counter, so you do some damage in return, but you don't get the blocking side of it, which is like not as good to block with. On top of that, what makes, you know, Super Saiyan Blue Vegito so awesome is being able to attack multiple times. But again, that's RNG based. Sometimes he may not even attack at all outside of that one attack that you tossed out. And the question is, if he does attack, is it going to be a super attack? So on top of that, he doesn't even really hit as hard as he should. That's the other thing. I mean, I know I'm kind of like biased because my Super Vegito has a super attack 10. So when I launch those super attacks, they do massive amounts of damage. Whereas my Blue Vegito only has a super attack of 1, so when he attacks, he doesn't hit as hard as my other cards. But like, it's like, just Rose is just so much better all around. Like when you add him, especially in the right environment, the right team, he's just a better card, and that's just how I feel about it. So,
yeah, I think they did a good job in balancing them in the sense that when you look at Vegito, it's all potential, and that's bad. That's not a good thing for him. I mean, like when you talk about RNG, his rates aren't that bad to be able to do multiple attacks. I think they're like 50 and 75% or whatever the case is, but at the same time, it's still possible damage. I mean, everything with him is possible damage. You're going to throw him on a Dokkan event between 2 or 3 attacks. He has a 30% tank. Legitimately, if you're incredibly lucky, he'll super attack 3 times, get 3 or 4 counters, and do a crazy amount of damage, especially if he super attack 10, but you've got to be lucky. It's consistency versus luck. And I mean, if you have to choose, you're going to choose consistency because that's just how things work. Not even just in Dokkan, it's just legitimately the more smarter way to go about it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But then again, also, you got to think about the fact that you got to have the right units, too. Because, again, if you don't have a good amount of villains, like, if you just have all the basic starter pack villains, like the Intelligence Golden Frieza that everybody had back in the day, or who else
He's
are
not
some
that
older?
bad.
Yeah, but I like Golden Frieza, actually. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, but, like, let's say the better villains.
You
like,
mean
you gotta
Cell.
compare to the villains.
INT Cell.
Yeah, Cell. Let's talk about Cell. Cell, for example. Like, he won't shine as well. So, like, if you have the right villains, if you have, especially the God villains, like, it's perfect. Like, running a Super Saiyan Rose Black team shouldn't even be a question. Run it. But then again, also, the beauty of Black is, I think one of you said this, you could also run him pretty well on a Mono AGL team. In fact, I'm probably going to be running more of a Mono AGL team than a Rainbow team, only because Mono AGL units are still good, which is also a good thing. Like, I love the fact that when they released Black and Vegito, they didn't shaft the Mono God units, which have basically been the meta for the last couple of months. And because, like, the thing is if you guys remember the old meta was like, what was the meta before
Gogeta?
Super Vegito came out? Gogeta?
Yeah.
Gogeta and also Intelligence, Gohan, like those cards where they had, like, you know, +3 key and then also add, like, damage. Like, that was the old meta.
Gogeta.
It was really just Gogeta.
It was just Gogeta.
Well, before he, like, the Rainbow Leader came out, basically,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. Yeah. The point is like the second, you know, Vegito came out, it became all about the God units, whether you're running God tanks or, you know, running, not Gogeta, Super Vegito, like those cards. But now that we have these cards, I'm still happy the fact that they didn't, like, you know, ruin the mono units and they still made like the god unit, like the god mono units, like what's the word? Good, usable, decent. Because like you got the plus 70% that you get for attack, defense, and HP plus the second card as a friend, which is still good. So ultimately, if you run Super Saiyan Rose on an AGL team, that's still freaking clutch, like super clutch. I mean, you may not get the good passive usage for them because you don't get the plus 3 key for villains unless you are running mono. Actually, you can run the Andros still too.
Both of those units are actually better on their respective mono teams anyway as sub units.
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree. I think mono in general is better.
Yeah.
Although I really just don't want to run a physical Broly team, but I can now. I can. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, we all agree here that Super Saiyan Rose is the better card. So to those watching, let us know what your thoughts are overall from experience. I mean, the one thing about Dokkan, it's hard to do. The reason why I don't do discussions is because it's hard to like discuss something with people who don't all necessarily might have this card. Because a lot of you guys watching may not even have Goku Black or Vegito. So all you have is like what you see from the videos or from your friends and stuff. So it's kind of hard to do discussions where it's like, well, I can't really test this out myself. Like if you do a Xenoverse discussion, you can hop in and test out what we're talking about. But it's really hard to like address the question when not everybody has the unit. But if you do have the units, either or, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below about what you personally prefer. It doesn't necessarily have to be like what you think is better, but what you personally prefer. Because again, you might agree that black is better, but you might be using Vegito more just because you have more cards that fit with it. So I guess just discuss it down below, and that's pretty much everything. Gentlemen, do you guys want to add on anything else before we end this?
Nope, good.
Nothing fancy, but a little fun fact. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're not nuking in the World Tournament anymore, Rose is the best leader now.
That would be true because he has the better subunits for something like that.
He's got Broly and Majin, and he gives 3 key to both.
Yeah.
And he's got Buhan too to regen. That's nice.
A little extra perk on the top there.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be able to test that out pretty soon because the tournament's coming out in like a week.
I think not even. I think like
few days.
The end of this week or the beginning of next week.
Oh, great, awesome. I need to train my cards, man. I have no training items. I'm bleeding. Anyway, so if you guys want to see more discussion videos, leave a like rating below. Like I said, I've never done this before. Usually I just play the game and then kind of discuss on the fly, but this is more focused on discussion with the gameplay in the background to show off both units. Any other questions you might have, feel free to drop us a comment down below. And again, subscribe to both Zenrot as well as D-Free by clicking their channels in the description below as well. But other than that, anything else, talk down below, and that's pretty much everything. So yeah. Anyways, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. This has been D-Free Zenrot Rhyme Style, and we'll see you guys in the comment section below. Peace.